Yow, yow, yow. What up, what up, what up, my betting family? We bet with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of March 15th, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 500 subscribers, and we're about 30 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So, like always, I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. But without further ado, let's hop into today's video. I'm going to be bringing y'all my top 6 picks for tonight's NBA slate of games. Just to do a quick recap of yesterday's picks that we did post, we were only able to go 3-3. The 3 that we're able to hit were Fred VanVleet over his points and assists, AD over his points and rebounds, and Pal Banchero over his PRAs. All 3 of those guys were able to pretty much crush their lines. They had big games. So, yeah, those are the 3 that were able to hit. The 3 that weren't able to hit for us, we had Nicholas Claxton over 33.5 fantasy scores. He just misses it. He did come close, but he obviously missed it. We also took R.J. Barrett over 30 PRAs. We weren't able to hit with this one as he wasn't able to get 1 rebound the whole game, which was kind of disappointing. And then the last one, Darius Garland, we were able to get him at the 21.5 points before the news came out that Donovan Mitchell wasn't able to play in last night's game. When the news came out, they bumped his line to 24.5. So I thought for us who got it at 21.5, I thought we were definitely getting kind of a steal. And I thought for sure it was going to be he was going to go over it, at least get us 22, knowing that Mitchell wasn't going to be playing. But he comes up short with 19 points. I don't believe he played a minute in the fourth quarter, which, is also disappointing. But it is what it is, a 3-3 day. We definitely look to bounce back tonight and get back to the winning ways. So without further ado, let's hop into tonight's NBA's slate of game, my top 6 picks. For my first pick, I'm going to be going to the points category. Going to be going down to the Celtics and Timberwolves game. And I'm going to be taking Jason Tatum over 28.5 points. Now, over his last 5, as you guys can see, he's averaging 29.6, going over in 3 of those 5 games. The 2 that he missed were against Brooklyn and Houston, where he scored 22 points apiece in those games. Now, against the Timberwolves, he's hit this over in 3 of his last 5 games against the Timberwolves, scoring 28 points, ended right on the hook with 28 points in 1 of those games that he missed. And the other games, he had 53, 26, 34, and 30. Now, the 26 points, the other game that he missed with 26 points, he only ended up playing 27 minutes in that game, which is well below his normal minutes that he plays per game. And in those 5 games, in the last 5 games against the Wolves, he's averaging 34.2 points per game. So here recently, he's had it going offensively against the Timberwolves. And then on top of that, I also expect sort of a bounce back game from him. Their last game against the Rockets, he only ends up scoring 22 points. He went 8 from 22 from the field, going 2 from 10 from the 3-point line. And then on top of that, he missed the game-tying layup to send the game into overtime. So I expect him to have a big game tonight and lead the Celtics to victory with I see him scoring 30 points, to be honest. So I'm going to be taking Jason Tatum over 28.5 points for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to go to the rebounds category, and I'm going to be going down to the Memphis and Heat game, and I'm gonna be taking Bam Adebayo over 8.5 rebounds. Now, here recently he's been struggling rebounding, averaging only 6 rebounds per game over his last 5, and only hitting the over one of those games where he just made it over against Utah at 9 rebounds. Ever since Kevin Love has been inserted into the starting lineup, Bam's rebounds have decreased, but he has a good matchup tonight. I expect him to at least get us 9 rebounds tonight. They are going up against the Grizzlies, as we know. Since the Steven Adams injury, the Grizzlies have been one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. And over the last 7 games, Memphis is allowing the most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So I think this, like I said, I think this should be a good matchup for him. And in his last 7 games against Memphis, he's hit this over in 6 of those 7 games. The one that he did miss was in the earlier matchup this season, where he only ended up grabbing 5 rebounds. And that was a game where Steven Adams played. He was still healthy. But in the previous 6 matchups that he did go over, he had 9 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 11, 13, 12, and 10. So pretty much grabbing double-digit rebounds, except the one game where he had 9. But all in all, like I said, I think this is a good matchup for him. And I think he could get it done for us on the rebounding side of things. So I'm going to be rocking with Bam over 8.5 rebounds for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to go to the PRA prop. They don't have the rebounds and assists prop up. I'm not sure if they will have it up, but this is the reason why I'm going with the PRA. But I'm going to be going down to the Clippers and Warriors game, and I'm going to be taking Draymond Green over 22.5 PRAs. Now, as you guys can see here recently, over his last 5, he's averaging 23.6, going over in 4 out of those 5 games. The one that he did miss was their last game against Phoenix, where he only had 14 PRAs. But against the Clippers, it's been pretty much a different story from the Phoenix game. The Clippers and Warriors have faced each other 3 times this season thus far, and he's gone over this PRA line in all 3 of the games against the Clippers this season. He had 28 PRAs in one game, 27 and 29. So he's been well above this line that they have at 22.5. Now, over the last 15 games, the Clippers are allowing the 5th most points per game and the 5th most assists per game to opposing power forwards. Obviously, Draymond could grab rebounds. I'm not saying or not expecting him to grab 10+ rebounds. Obviously, we would love for him to do that to get us a better chance to hit this line. But he's played well this season against the Clippers, and the Clippers are struggling somewhat, guarding opposing power forwards. So I'm going to be taking Draymond Green over 22.5 PRAs for my third pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going to go back to the rebounds category, and I'm going to be taking Joel Embiid over 10 rebounds against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I know here recently he hasn't hit the over in any of his last 5 games, and he's only averaging 6.6. But against the Cavs, he's hit this over in 5 out of his last 7 games against the Cavs. In those 7 games, he's had 13 rebounds, 14, 9, 17, 17, 6, and 14. Now, his career average rebounding-wise against the Cavs is 11.2. And over the last 7 games, the Cavs are allowing the 6th most rebounds per game. One key note for this game is Jarrett Allen. He is a game-time decision with an eye injury. I think he will play, as he missed his last 2 games. But either way, if he plays or doesn't play, I still like this Embiid to go over 10 rebounds. just a quick note, just to throw it out there, again, in his career against when matched up against Jared Allen, he's averaging 13.5 rebounds. So all in all, I think this should be a good matchup for him to get the rebounds for us. And I think he could get it done. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my 4th pick. For my 5th pick, I'm going to be going to an assist prop, and I'm going to be taking Paul George over 4.5 assists. Now, over his last 5, he's averaging 5.6, hitting the over in 3 out of those last 5 games. One of the games he ended up right on the hook against the Raptors, and then the other one that he missed against Memphis, he only ended up with 3. Now, for the season, the Warriors are allowing the 2nd most assists per game to opposing shooting guards. And Paul George has hit this over against the Warriors in 6 straight games, including 2 earlier matchups this season. And those 2 earlier matchups this season, he had 1 game with 8 assists and 1 with 5. But in the 6 straight games that he has hit, he's had 7 assists, 5 assists, 6 assists, 5 assists, 8 assists, and 5 assists. So there, half of those games he barely just made it over with 5. But as long as it greens, it really doesn't matter. So I like this spot for him. So I'm going to be taking Paul George over 4.5 assists for my 5th pick. And for my 6th and last pick, I'm going to be going to the points and rebounds category. I'm going to go to the Kings and Bulls game, and I'm going to be taking Nikola Vucevic over 29.5 points and rebounds. Now, the stats that I'm going to give you, I'm pretty much just going off of the games where Vucevic has been with the Bulls and Sabonis has been with the Kings. Obviously, they matched up against each other when they were when Sabonis with the Pacers and Vucevic with the Magic and whatnot. But so I'm just basing it off of when both of those guys were with their teams currently, and they've only matched up 3 games since they've been, Vucevic with the Bulls and Sabonis with the Kings. Now, in those 3 games, he's hit the over in 2 out of those 3 games. In those 2 games that he did go over, he had 31 points and rebounds and 33. The one that he did miss was the earlier matchup this season where he only ended up with 18 points and rebounds. In that game, though, that was a game where Zach LaVine scored 41 points. And as we know, once a player has it going like that, and it's their night, a lot of the other players pretty much don't get their regular touches. But all in all, I still like this matchup. For the season, the Kings are pretty much just middle of the pack in guarding the opposing centers, whether it's with points per game allowed or rebounds per game allowed. They're pretty much middle of the pack in both of the categories. So I like this spot for Vucevic at home. This is pretty much a pick 'em game. The point spread is only 1 point, so he could go either way. But I'm going to be rocking with him for my 6th and last pick. So just to recap, I'm going to be going over all of the picks that I did mention. As always, if you agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So I'm gonna be placing a $5 entry for the possibility of winning 125. So let's go ahead and place that entry. And that's gonna be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow.